If you use Notion, one of the biggest struggles that I personally had when I first started and have been using it for 2.5 years is a lot of the times I wasn't sure if projects were current or past or future, and I didn't really have a good labeling system or status system for how to do that. In fact, statuses only came about about a year ago. So for the first year that I used Notion, statuses didn't even exist. So I've been really thinking about it lately, and I've decided to come up with a new framework to go alongside my 13 pillar framework, which, if you didn't know, I teach it inside of my Simplify Your Digital Life course. I love coming up with frameworks. It's a huge passion of mine. But what I've realized is I didn't have a good system for how to deal with different types of projects that I have. So things within my tag database, just in general, anything that I was doing on any type of database, I didn't really have a good status system. So that is changing today. I'm super excited to announce that I have a brand new framework that I'm going to be walking through with you guys, and it is going to be a 3-step framework. So this is basically how I label things that are current, past, and future. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. It's walking through a little bit about how I use this in Notion as well as just in life, and I hope that this helps you, and maybe you will start to use this as well, or you'll make up your own if it doesn't fit your needs. Anyways, if you want to subscribe for more content, join our Facebook groups, just join our email list. All the stuff is down below. We have templates, courses, all the things to learn Notion. Let's get to the video so I can walk through and how I use it in Notion. This is the framework that I created, and let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see it. So basically, it's a 3-part framework for product. I'm calling it the Productivity Express framework. So for projects that I'm currently working on, these are active projects that I'm doing. It's called the roadmap. So you can call it active, you can call it current, whatever it is. The next idea is parking lot, and that is things that are coming in the future. So future projects, ideas, things that I want to capture still. I don't know about you, but I used to do this in notes all the time. I would just write an idea. I want that somewhere. And then the last, and this is probably the biggest thing that Notion has, is archive and resources. So these are things that are not current projects, but they're information and resources that you want to save. So that is basically in the garage. So I like to use kind of like a car theme for this. But the biggest thing about these is that they have different colors. Now, these are actually the same colors that Notion uses for their statuses, but I've actually changed them around. I like the idea of green for active because it's go, go, go. It's stuff you're working on now. Blue, I like the idea because, again, it's just a good color for future ideas. And then gray, I like, and silver for basically the archived or stuff that's in the past, just because it doesn't pop out. It's not exciting. It's a resource. So what this has done for me is within some of my databases, for example, like the books I'm reading, all the ones I've already read, I put as done, and I put that as gray. And so I can have almost active versus inactive parts of what I'm doing on Notion. The biggest one that I think that this is really helpful to kind of show is maybe in content. So let's go to my tag and knowledge base. I know I talked about this last time, but now things have changed. So if I go to the content creation, one of the things that I decided to change was I have 2 different types of things I'm working on. I've got the resources. So this is all information about marketing. But when it comes to actually planning content, I have a separate area. And you can see, and I need to update this, this was actually a duplication, but you can see I've actually changed the color to green. It used to be that I would organize by pillar all of the different, how do I describe this? All of the different pages within that pillar would be the same color as the pillar. What I've changed now is all of the active items are going to be green. So another thing that I recently added after last week's video is I have an action items area. So this is all stuff that I'm currently working on. These are still housed in the parent area. So for example, meals, food, nutrition planning. If you go down to health, you will see it's still there. It's still there. It has 2 parents, so you can still find it there. But what I've done is now I can quickly find, these are all of the things that I just use a lot. These are current, up-to-date things that I'm constantly looking at, that I'm using, that I'm planning, that I'm looking for the future on. Everything else in my tag and knowledge vault is past items. So for example, let's go back to the health and fitness. I've changed all of these to silver because they are information that is in the past, things that are resources that are not active. So if you open any of these, you'll see that they all have kind of this sort of folder icon. It's like a file folder. At first, this used to be orange because that was the pillar. It still is linked over to the pillar over here. But I want to make it clear to my brain immediately if I see gray or silver, that is not active. That is something that I do not need to act upon in the moment. While if I see green, both in the icon color and in the status, which you can see I've changed future items to blue. I have changed all the current to green, and I've changed the complete or NA inactive archive to silver. For me, this is going to be so helpful because I don't know if you watched my video last time. I had like everything all in one. I had everything organized in the content creation, both active and inactive things. So now I've split them. I think I did this with client operations as well. Yes. So I have current, actually I need to update this one. So this is current leads. So I'm going to do so I'm going to make sure this is green. I also need to add this to my action items area. So now if I add it here, you will now see it pop up over here, and it's called current clients and leads. So again, and then you want to change that status to in progress. So, but with my CRM, these are all old things. Like for example, a testimonial, and maybe I haven't gone through and changed all of these icons. Again, I did this kind of quickly the other day. So I want to change all of these icons. Let's do this as a group. So I usually go up here, click icons, and then I changed all of them to silver. So now these are all past things that I've worked on. So for example, testimonials. This is just information that I have about people that is not an active thing I'm working on. Same with business projects. So I think you guys have seen this. So for action items, I've now changed that to green. Future projects, I've now changed to blue. And then past projects, and again, information, I've changed to silver. Again, to me, color is so important on Notion. That's why I really like the fact that they came out with their own icons that you can change the colors of, because that has changed the game for me personally. When it was just a basic emoji, it just didn't help. So for me, having and picking the icons that made the most sense. So I use the writing one for the stuff that I'm doing now. I'm using the light bulb emoji for future projects, and then the file folder for past. So this is a big change for me. I'm going through and updating all of my old databases. I will also be doing that with the templates as well. Just because I think this is a really helpful way to look at everything that you're doing. So if you open this, you'll see I have, again, the current stuff I'm working on, the future ideas that I have, and the past. So everything on Notion is either past, present, or future. That's just anything in life. So knowing what it is when you open up is going to be so much quicker for you to see. So there's lots of things like with home and household, a lot of this stuff is just, again, archive. It's like stuff I need to know, but then there is current stuff like chore list and cleaning. That is current stuff that I'm working on, so other ideas, habits and routines, my journaling, that's current. But all of these, I also just added this option under Mind Expansion. I split them into the following: collections, which is where there's additional databases within. I've got information, so this is a bunch of different things about information about things. Skills that I have, so these are just different skills, and then topics that are just kind of random, and then I have Notion. So for me, even within this one, I have more. I've got like planning and vision boards. There's just like a lot of different things that are going on with this. So anyways, this is a really fast run through of my new system, which I just mentioned. It's called the Productivity Express Framework. I hope that this was helpful for you if you're using Notion. If you're like, how do I get a good status? I would recommend having a consistent status across all of your databases. You know, figuring out, okay, is there a specific color? Is there a specific name for the different things you're working on? And a place to find it quickly. If you want to check out my template for this specific template, it is in the link in my bio, the daily life tracker. This is literally based off of my own personal template. I have a $30 template for that so that you don't have to spend the time doing this. Hope that you guys find this helpful. This was kind of a quick video. I have some more videos coming up around updates I have to my own templates as well as my own personal templates. So hope you guys check that out. I hope that this was helpful, and I'll talk to you next time.